other siblings, my brother and I have had our disagreements, special memories, and of course, wrestling matches. Although our relationship is a little different because my brother Chance has autism and Down syndrome. When Chance was younger, he had shown promising improvements in speech, behavior, and social interactions. However, upon entering middle school, his abilities started deteriorating. I've always been a very protective sister, and it was devastating to watch him struggle with the knowledge I could do nothing. Chance was unable to clearly communicate and express himself. Children with special needs require access to personalized tools and resources. The necessity for tools that are personalized stems from each student's level of ability and understanding. In order for the students to make the most growth, they require tools that are geared toward them. For example, my brother's behaviors escalated because of his inability to speak or sign. Handing him an iPad wasn't a solution because of his low dexterity. But we found that a system called PECS could help my brother communicate in a meaningful way, which has nearly eradicated his aggressive behaviors. PECS are small, laminated photos my brother can hand us when he wants to say if he's hungry, needs the restroom, or wants to play the drums. It's such a simple solution, but one that completely changed our family dynamics. Now, my brother, who's incapable of speaking, could in his own way talk to us. The right resources can make all the difference in a child's education. So why aren't all students presented with a solution like Chance was? Unfortunately, it took getting Chance out of the public school to discover an option that would work for him. Children with special needs and disabilities in the public school systems are not always provided with the personalized resources they need to function in today's society. Function in today's society. And even though private school is a dramatically helpful solution for Chance, parents are not always in a situation where they can get their child into a non-public education school. That's why it's extremely necessary for public schools to receive the funding special education not only requires, but deserves. However, school districts across the United States are in extreme debt, leaving minimal room for excess funding. Here are some of the current issues with funding special education. A peer pupil expenditure is funding a school district will receive based on enrollment and attendance. In California, that would average around $10,000 per student. However, the cost of educating a child with special needs is double that amount, and in some cases can range up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, the federal government has promised to fund up to 40% of these excess costs. However, it's currently at one of its lowest, 9 to 16%. Another problem is that when the total enrollment number decreases, it also takes away funding from special education programs who are growing in number. In an article written by John Fensterwald, Jane Christakos, Chief Business Officer of the San Bernardino City Unified School District, explains her district situation. Jane told legislators that at the same time, district enrollment dropped by 398 students, leading to a loss of $4 million in general funding and $210,000 in special education funding. The number of students identified with a disability had increased by 189 students. Many of those are autistic, requiring more money than the state provides. And lastly, states do not fund early intervention. Early intervention would be starting education prior to kindergarten. In a report done by Vicki Barber and Maureen Burness, it states, these children's difficulties are identified in preschool or even before. Research has shown for years that, with the appropriate supports, children with early signs of learning problems may well catch up with their peers by the time they enter kindergarten. Early intervention in learning and behavior and mental health and physical challenges has proven time and again to provide exponential return on that first investment. Although federal law requires that school districts identify disabilities early on and address the issues in preschool, many states do not offer funding for students at this point in their education. Senate Bill 1071, proposed by California Senator Ben Allen, was created to help fund preschool special education, but it never went through due to the lack of support and attention. So, the first way to improve the lack of funding is by bringing awareness. Due to the lack of attention, special education is not always seen as a priority. However, this problem is in need of quick action and lots of support. In order to make a true impact on the resources available in special education classrooms, there needs to be a budget for it. You can improve the funding by going to a website called the Council for Exceptional Children Legislative Action Center website. There's currently a space on their page to help fund special education through IDEA, which is Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. The website provides a simple way to support and send a letter to Congress. The letter you would send to Congress includes 1, promises the federal government has made, 2, how they have failed to follow through, and 3, your encouragement to fully support the act. You can find this link to the website in my bio. And lastly, to those of you who know someone with special needs, you have the ability to make a personal impact on the family. Ask the parents how you can help and encourage them, because I can tell you every day presents a new struggle. We can partner with these families and show them that they have their community support. Everyone here holds the power to enact change. You can make a difference in thousands of students' lives whose education is overlooked every day. Choose to be proactive. Choose to use your voice. These children are counting on it.